Happy 2 o'clock, everybody. My name is Benny K, and welcome to the 2 o'clock talk with Benny K. A little different of a setting. I thought, oh, let me have the bookshelf in the background. That'll make me look smart. And then I realized, oh, wait a second, those are like all my childhood favorites right there. Anyway, I just had a very interesting, and by interesting, I mean awkward conversation with my landlord. You see, we are now 23 days into the government shutdown, and hey, guess who's still not getting paid? This guy. Right, it sounds like it's even questionable whether or not we will be receiving back pay by this point. So, awesome. Gotta love the government. Gotta love Congress. You know, they're still out there getting paid. Love to hear it. We really do. While the rest of the executive branch, of course, decides to suffer, apparently. Minus the Department of War, all right? So glad the full-time active duty guys and gals are getting paid. That's good. I have a lot of friends who are active duty, so I'm happy to hear that, right? Um, but yeah, just I told him why I pushed off the conversation of, hey, by the way, as of right now, it's questionable if I will be able to pay my December rents. Push that off because it's like, government shutdown, this won't last long. 23 days later. Interesting. So he's very understanding. I have an amazing landlord. Shout out. Love the guy. He lives right upstairs. Hence, he's not like, he's not dead or anything. But obviously. So, yeah, very cool, very understanding guy. He's not depending on my money, thank God, or else I probably would have been kicked out a while ago and he probably would have found a new tenant. But yep. So yeah, that went. Actually, I mean, again, he's a cool guy, so that conversation wasn't as awkward as it could have been, right? I've only been here not even a year yet, but he seems to think I'm a good tenant, so I'm doing my best to stay that way, a good tenant who pays on time. And this shutdown has definitely made me realize some things, a few things, of course. Um, there's an important lesson here. They always say, growing up and when you're starting to make money, make sure you put away enough money to cover 6 months of your expenses. And I understand why. I do. Sometimes you have to learn a lesson a hard way. I get it. I firmly understand why I should have had 6 months worth of my expenses, 6 months of, you know what I mean, money put away in a savings account, just ready to go in case, God forbid, something bad happens, like a government shutdown. Well, that's great, okay? I don't feel like doing the math, but I assure you, that's a good chunk of money to have put away. Um, how am I supposed to hit that? Do we live in like with this economy, with this society? Are we actually able to do that on a one person income? Is that something that we're even capable of doing? Um, I speak a lot to other people in my generation, Gen Z, Zoomers, and there are some who are fortunate enough to be making fantastic money, and they still live at home with their parents, and that is not an attack. I mean, if you can save money living at home with your parents, go ahead and do it. I was a dummy who decided, yo, what if I over triple my rent and move out? Genius! 10 out of 10. Um, but, I have a lot of Gen Z friends who, again, like I said, fortunately, great paying jobs and whatnot, and they are putting away. They're saving a lot of money because they don't need to spend a lot of money. And, I'm not going to name any names, of course, but I've got friends who, they got some low standards, right? They like to chill, play their video games, they don't go out drinking. I mean, I probably have some expensive hobbies, and that is definitely on me, and I do need to work on that myself. But you know what? Like I said, it's a good thing I've learned this lesson now because I'm out here wondering why the heck am I choosing to spend so much money on all kinds of stuff when I need to start saving. So, a very important lesson learned, but will I, by myself, ever, without the help of others, actually ever achieve 6 months of expenses ready to go? I mean, the car payment, the car insurance, the home insurance, the rents, my utilities, like it just oh, fuel. All right, fuel is kind of sort of expensive. Like, when when will I have the opportunity to save 6 months worth of expenses and living? How? This is a crazy world we live in. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening.